Okay, cool. And then am I going to be able to screen share and stuff? Okay, cool. Perfect.
You should, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, hey guys, thank you all so much for joining. That makes me feel really special that y'all came to my class, so I appreciate that. But for those of you guys that I don't know, I'm Lindsey Bartley, and I have the Lindsey Bartley team at Keller Williams, and a couple of my beautiful teammates are also on here, so I appreciate them coming. But so today we're going to be talking about how to find clarity in the chaos. So is anybody having a hard time with that right now? Those of you that I can see, anybody, if you want to raise your hand, if you're having some problems. And then for some of us, I feel like it's a daily struggle. Like some days I'm so, it's just great. And I'm like, we can do this. It's going to be over soon. We got this. And then, the next day it may be totally different. And so I know it's just a crazy time right now. But for me, this is a time, well, for all of you too, but this is one of those times where we don't have clarity. And I know I've said this a bunch of times before, but here at Keller Williams, we follow models. And so we know that if we do things a certain way, we can expect success, which I believe in 100%. And right now, we just don't have that clear model of what to do and where to go, except shift. Shift is great. But still, it's a little bit of a different kind of shift that we're in. So for me, we don't have that. And so I just, it's very easy to have this feeling of being out of control. And when we feel out of control, we can get down, we can get demotivated, we can just go hit up Netflix in our pajamas all day, or just, spend time with your kids all day, which is great too. But those are not going to be the things that get us out successfully on the other side of this shift. So for me, I know my first week in quarantine, it was also spring break. And so that was kind of a unique time, but we had been out of town the weekend before. And so I got off on my weekend routine and didn't do my 411 that week before. And so that first week was a huge struggle for me. Being at home and trying to figure it out. We just moved, and so we have a pool, and it was nice that week. So it's like, I could go float in the pool, do those things, which was fun. But then after that week, I was like, oh my gosh, this may last a long time. And if we don't have a game plan and do the right things through this, then we're going to have a major, major issue when we come out on the other side of this. So for me, clarity is my 411. And so on this call, I know there are a lot of you, I can't see you, so I don't know if you can raise your hands, but how many people out there right now have some kind of a 411 that they follow on a weekly basis? Okay, awesome, you have one, perfect. All you Lindsey Bartley teamers better be raising your hand. But so the 411 is not the difference for me in between a really productive and successful week and a very unproductive week. So I'm going to share with you here in a minute my personal 411. Mine's a little bit crazy, but I'll show you what mine's like, and then we'll go from there. But when I say my 411, it's a little bit broader than the one that you'll find on my KW. I put all my goals on there. So I sit down at the beginning of every year, when we plan for the next year, and think about all of my goals. And so I really went off the one thing. So goals, for my family, for investing in net worth, for growth for my team, production, things like that. And then also my personal goals and habits. And so every week I like to go and look at that, reflect on it, and then decide what is going to be the most important thing for me to do that month and that week in order to hit the goals that I want to hit. So right now things are definitely changing, and I haven't reached a point in my business where I'm ready to change my goals for the year, because hopefully we'll get out of this soon and we'll still find a way to hit the goals that we've set. So right now things are a little bit different. Sorry, I have a kiddo here sending me notes. So things are a little bit different for right now, but still, we've got to be clear about what your goals are for the week. So what are some things that each one of you have wanted to do that you've been too busy to do in the past? So for us, we're doing, like, I went and sourced my business, like it says in Shift, and we do have lots and lots of business that comes from our sphere and past clients, which I'm sure all of you do too. And on our team, we do lots of events, and we do lots of different things that we just can't do right now. So for us, like, handwritten notes is one of our things. So usually we're all rocking and rolling and really, really busy, and it's one of those things that we have always intended to do, and never in my career have I been good at handwritten notes. So for me, that's one way we're adapting. We all have to write 5 a day, which if you do the math on our team, we have 16 people on our team. So 5 a day, 25 a week each. That's a lot of handwritten notes. That's a pretty big impact we can make with that. So just think about what it is that you've wanted to do, both personally and professional, and focus on those things, and then go plan your whole week accordingly based on those things. So I understand right now lots of us have kids at home that we're homeschooling, which is exciting and crazy and stressful and all the things. But I do feel like as long as your kids are, at least grade school, that we can teach them structure through this as well. I know for a lot of us parents, there's a lot of like guilt here. There's the guilt about being a good mom and getting work done and all of that. But I also want everybody to think about too, like us as working parents, chances are most of our kiddos are going to work at some point in their life. And so this is a time where we can be great role models professionally too. Because we could all go sit on the couch and watch Netflix all day, and you are being a great role model to still take care of business. So give yourself a little bit of slack on that for all of you that have the guilt thing going. But okay, well, I'm going to share with you guys real quick my screen. Hold on just a second. Okay, can you all see that? Okay. I bet I'm about to overwhelm quite a few of you, so I'm going to apologize in advance. And Wendy Papazan was my coach for a few years, and I got mine from her, so I know this is definitely more complicated than what Keller Williams teaches us, but I learned it from Wendy Papazan, so I feel pretty good about it being crazy. So, but it's not for everybody. So anyways, up here I have my goals for the year. And so it is a good time for you guys, if you haven't done this yet, now is a great time to go through and set your goals for the year. You may have to change them and adapt as we, see what's ahead. But for one, sit down and do it. Like, that's a beautiful thing to do if you have the time right now. So I do our goals for production, for talented people that we want in our world, systems that we want to master this year, some different growth things that we have. I have taken a couple things off there because I wanted to go see my girl Rachel Hollis this year and Tony Robbins, and I did take that off because I'm probably not going to be able to do that this year. But anyways, it's good to have your goals around that, your health goals, adventure and spiritual. So I have a lot of trips I want to take, and that may be something I'm going to have to adjust as well, but it is what it is. Family time, finances, goals for my home. I kind of added that on there. My charitable goals, and then different habits that I want to create. And right now is a time where we really can be focusing on those habits, because the habits that we have right now are going to define how we make it through this. So if you have good habits and you're focused on the right things, then you'll probably find a way to come out of this thing stronger and better, right? But we all have those bad habits as well. All of our habits are a little bit probably different, but if we let those bad habits take over, that too, on the other side of this, we may come out and not have the business like we had before, especially if it goes on, more than 2 more months. So I take all of those things up top and then come down and do my monthly goals. So for me, the 411 that Keller Williams has, they have it in business and then they have personal. So I have job, business, and personal just because I think of my job more as a realtor and then my business is running a team, and then personal, of course. So anyways, I lay out those goals at the beginning of every month. So the Sunday before the month starts, I spend about an hour usually on my month. So, just really looking at my goals, focusing on where we're at, where we're behind, all of that, and what my most important things are going to be to do that month in order to have the best shot of hitting our goals for the year. So I do that once a month, and then from there, I take it down to a week. So that's why the first month is always a little bit longer because we have a little bit more planning. Then I go down and do my weekly goals. So my weekly goals are a lot more intense than what yours will be if you're just selling real estate and not running a team. And so for agents on our team, their goals should be a lead generation goal, database ads, maybe handwritten notes and things like that right now all around lead gen, under contract goals. And really that's pretty much it. So, and then they have their special projects. So right now, if you're wanting to work on a mailer or if you're wanting to work on something different with your database, now is a great time to be getting those things into place and done. But if you're, just selling real estate, it can be a little bit more simple. One thing for us for our business side, that I'm wanting to get done this week is to redo our bio. So that's one of those things as agents. It's it's a struggle to ever get it done. And then once you get it done, you leave it hanging out there for 9 years, like I have. And it's just one of those things you're like, man, you just want to go improve your, team bio or your realtor bio and all the sites, but you're busy and never do it. So now is a good time to do those things that you've wanted to do. So anyways, that's it. And I call those are my 20%. And then I have my 80% list down here. So for people like me who are more visionary types who love and get the ideas, I have, get lots of ideas. And so when I'm at a conference or at a team meeting or something like that, and something pops into my head and I get an idea, I go add it to my 80% list. And that way, if I'm struggling one week to figure out what my goals are and priorities are for that week, I can just go look at that and move that up to my 411. So that's the first part. Then after that, I am big on time blocking. And especially now, because I feel like right now, there are so many options and ways we could be distracted. We could be doing laundry, we could be cleaning our house, there's so many things. And taking care of kids, that's a major priority. So I want you to know that. But you can also have some structure around that as long as your kids are a certain age. So, instead of just feeling like you just want to be around them all the time and do everything, focus on quality time. Because, 30 minutes of focused time is going to be a whole lot better than 3 hours of you haphazardly hanging out with them and then taking care of your business. So, but anyways, there are lots of distractions. So right now I want to make it to where I don't have to think about what I need to be doing. So I've gone and time blocked like crazy. Okay. So I'm going to show you on my calendar, and this is my calendar for the week. And, so I color code. And, but anyways, I've even gone and done lunches through the week, except for today. That way, because Stuart's been going to the office, to our office. He's the only one there. And so he'll go there. So he comes home at 1. So we eat lunch at 1. And my kids know we eat lunch at 1. So it's not except for today, I just got the note that my son he's eating right now. But, anyway, so we can all eat lunch together, and it's not crazy. And, I don't know. I like structure. So, and then I have on here some appointments and just different meetings that I'm doing. Let's See, I really wish there were a whole lot more listing appointments on there. There's not right now. Those have been kind of tough to come by this week. But let's see, my lead gen time is the most important time right now. And so lead gen can look different for different people, but I mean, calling is king right now. Texting is great as well. And then we are counting on our team handwritten notes as contacts, just because I feel like right now they're super duper important. Any way we can reach out. So lead gen should be on everybody's calendar right now. And I feel like for us, lead gen has been, it's just changed. So we're just really trying to, I mean, there's a lot of people that are still wanting to make a move, and that's great. But a lot of people too are just, they want to wait and see how this thing plays out, which I get. And so we're just wanting to know who we need to prioritize when all this, when things change and go back to normal or more normal. And we just want to know who those people are. So it's we're really focused on our pipeline right now. So anyways, so that's my calendar and my 411. So do you guys have any questions or anything that you want to ask me about? Let's see. Like major.
No, I think that's awesome. You have all your goals and everything for the whole year, and it's awesome.
I feel like it's awesome for me. It works for me. So I know I've shown my 411 to people in the past who it really overwhelms, and that I get as well. And so, but like people on my team who aren't, you know, running the business and doing things like that, theirs can be, you know, a lot more simple. And so, but it's good to have some goals. So if you sit down and go through every category, and the best place to go is to the one thing, and where they talk about the balls that we all have, you know, some of them are glass and some are rubber. And I feel like one of the beauties of this time is we have more time to take care of those glass balls. So our health and our family and relationships, you know, we have more time, which is awesome. And so, but, you know, anyways, we got to take care of those other ones as well right now. But having goals just brings you so much clarity. And I feel like clarity is what gives us power. And for me, the first time, I guess our second week, when I went back to doing my 411, like I felt so much more in control that next week. And so it's like you can get distracted and let your mindset get bad really quick. Like you go turn on the news or look on social media, and it's very easy to get into like a dark place right now, or worried about future business. And, you know, having a healthy fear of the future is great. I feel like that's a good thing right now. But we have to do the things that we all know we need to do in order to come out stronger and better and with better habits on the other side of this. And so taking that time on Sunday evenings and planning out your week and your goals for the week, and then going and putting it on your calendar and then following it, because then you got to follow it. Excuse me. But I mean, it just makes you feel like so much more in control and so much more productive.
Hey, how long did it take you to get in the habit of looking at your 411 every day, doing the 411, right? Because I think that a lot of times, like, man, it seems like, oh, I want to do this. It's so easy to just fall off.
Oh, so easy.
And how long did it take you to kind of get in that habit?
So I would say it was probably a solid year. And my coach was Wendy Papazan, and that was her one thing. So she would not talk to me and have my coaching call if I didn't do it. So that's pretty good accountability. And any habit that you're wanting to do is worth having a really solid accountability partner around. And so doing a 411, I feel like in order to succeed at it and build that habit, because it is hard, you need to have a friend that you can hold each other accountable to and share it with them so that they can go look at it. Like without you having to share it. So that way you can't be like, oh, whoops, I forgot to send it. Like they can just go look at it. And it will say the last day that you edit it if you do it on Google Sheets. So if it's like a week and a half ago, then there you go. Like there's your accountability. And so you need to have a partner, either someone on your team or another agent at Keller Williams or your spouse or whoever that is, that will go look on there and call you out, and someone that you respect and you don't want to let down. But yeah, it's a habit just like any other, but a really important one, I feel like.
Do you just change like your weekly goals every week on the same 411?
I do. Yep. I've had the same 411 for probably 4 years. And so, yeah, I just changed the weekly goals. You know, sometimes, hopefully I get most of them done, but sometimes I don't, right? And so you can just leave them to the next week. And then it's also good to see what's been hanging out on your 411 for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks that hasn't been done. And if that's the case, well, maybe it means it's either not one of your priorities, so you should move it to your 80%, or maybe you need some leverage or somebody else in your life to help you get that done. Because we all have our strengths. And if it's something that you're just, you know, don't feel like you are going to get it done, then find someone else who can help you out.
Like for that like job, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but for like the weekly goals, do you do 7, 1 per day, or do you just whatever you have to do for the week?
Just whatever I have to do for the week. And then I go and just see where I can get it on my calendar to fit in. And then of course, you know, you have to readjust sometimes, and that's totally fine. But yeah, now I just go for the week, and then I always have it up on a tab on my computer. And so we all have those days, especially when we're in the office. You know, it's like you're at the office, and it's like, it's crazy how short our memory is. Mine is anyways. I don't know if y'all's is, but it's like, gosh, what do I have to do? Like, you totally forget. And so I go look at my 411 multiple times a day to see where I'm at. Now I'm like, oh crap, I totally forgot I need to go get that done, or that was my priority. And so I feel like the 411, it just keeps, like, if you really dedicate your time to think one time a week, because successful people aren't like, they're not, I feel like, you know, sometimes they have more talent and all that, but they just have better habits than the rest of us. And this is one of those habits that if we sit and think about it, just where we want to go every week, and then just go block it out, then all you have to do is follow it. Which I know is easier said than done, but you can just go look and see what the next thing is that you need to do. And it kind of takes that human error, or that like relying on yourself and being like super on point all the time. It kind of takes that out, you know, a little bit of pressure off of yourself, as long as you just follow it. So, but then you can look back. My first year that I did my 411, I kept a list of everything I'd completed and put it like on a different tab, just so I could remind myself and feel better about like how much I'd got done over the year. And like, if you still, look down at my tabs on the office.
I'm heading to the office right now.
Okay, I left my car unlocked, and it's.
So, well, hello, somebody. But anyways, I'm not sharing my screen anymore. But on the bottom of my pipeline, I have like a recruiting pipeline, which is good for anybody at Keller Williams who's looking to recruit to your profit share for sure. And I have wins and lessons. So because I do like to kind of, you know, we get busy and we forget like what we've done or what we've learned. And so I keep that so I can add what I've learned, my mistakes, and then the wins that I've had in case I'm ever having a rough day and I want to go look back at it. And then we keep our pipeline report on ours as well. So that way it's all in one place. And then we have on our team, our agents go over their 411 twice a month with Stuart, and then once a month with me. And so we can just, you know, just helps hold everybody accountable. And the number one thing is to help hold yourself accountable. So any other questions about that?
I love it. Lindsey, you just prompted me to remember one of my favorite things. I have a 411, and sometimes it gets done, sometimes it doesn't. And if I'm like looking back and reviewing what hasn't gotten done, Debbie always makes me draw a triangle. And then she has me draw out these 3 things, right? Do I have the skills in order to do it? Do I have it time blocked on my schedule? And do I have accountability around it? And if I don't have one of those three things, the truth is it doesn't happen. And so I think if you're missing two, like for 4 weeks in a row, or even just a week in a row, like missing something that like I put on my 411, I intended to do it, it didn't happen. It's probably because one of those three things are missing, either skills, accountability, or did you actually go to your calendar and put, this is when I'm going to do it, right? Because I love how you said, go through your 411 first, then go to your schedule to say, okay, the things that I'm putting in my 411, are they on my schedule? Because if it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist, right?
That's exactly right. And one
it.
thing that we've seen on our team is, for one, a lot of people don't follow a calendar until they get on our team. So if you're not used to having a calendar in the first place, like that's got to be your first thing to master, is having an actual calendar. And then you got to look at it. So yeah, when I first started doing it, I was really good at the 411, but then I didn't time block it, and then you don't get it done. And so it is so important that you do the 411 and then put it on your calendar, and then look at both your calendar and your 411 every day if you really want to get good at it. But like you said too, accountability. And accountability is so important right now. It's more important than ever. And because right now it's just so easy for us to like let our mindset get in the dump, and business, like I know on our team we've had different deals fall apart. We had one Friday where 3 deals fell apart the day of closing, which that was a few weeks ago. Things have been pretty good since then, so I'm going to knock on wood. But anyways, things have been crazy. And so it would be very easy to just go like, I don't know, take the day off and have some wine or watch Netflix, or, just do things that, and that's okay every now and then. But like, we have to be at least on point 80% of the time during this. So for us on our team, we're having a morning call every day at 10 o'clock. And so where we can just kind of come together, we talk about what we learned, what we had happen, what was good, bad, but really just to get on that call, set some goals, and make so we can stay focused. And if you're not on a team, create a group of friends who are wanting to succeed through this, and where y'all will hold each other accountable, so y'all can jump on and just touch base and check in. We do ours at 10 o'clock, which is late in the day, but that way everybody's up at least up by 10 o'clock. And so it's just a higher level of accountability. And if y'all wanted to go over your 411 on that would be great too. Just keep each other clear and keep everybody motivated. Any other questions?
Hey, Lindsey, I love also what you said. You can actually have a bad day. You just can't turn it into a bad week that then turns into a bad month, that then turns into a bad year, right? So whenever you notice yourself maybe having 2 bad days in a row, like what do you do personally to get yourself back?
I mean, for me, I feel like I feel like when we do the right things, like that makes me feel better. So even because there's so many things right now, none of us know what the future holds at this point, and we could get really stressed out. But I know with 110% certainty that if we are keeping in touch with our people, if we're doing our Legion, it may not show up right now, but it will show up at some point. And that's the only thing I know at this point. And so I am reading Shift, and then I'll read it, like I'm reading it really slowly. And so I'll read it, and then I'm doing like what it says. And that to me too is giving me a ton of power. And then reading it in a quiet place, think about it. And it gives me like a whole bunch of ideas, like having that time to kind of sit and think and reflect about how I'm going to put it into motion. But for me, I feel like our mindset is the most important thing that we have as realtors and parents and everything. It's the most important thing. And so it's too precious to let your mindset be bad 2 days in a row. So if you're having a bad day, have a bad day and do whatever makes you feel better, whatever you do to cope. But after that, it's like you just got to get up and just do the things. that you know you need to do. We all know what we need to do. And then I feel like you feel so much better at the end of the day. So any other questions? Not easy. So who's going to do their 411 today?
Hey, Kyle Rawls said, hey, do you have a template of this? And I'm sure a few people would love that. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Because it's so great. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I love seeing a tab that says wins and lessons. Like, that is so good to really like write down your wins and lessons. I'm so bad about that. I learned so much that
I just started that like in the last 6 months, and I feel like I mean, I know that's like really dorky and it's kind of embarrassing, and but for me, it's like we as realtors and business owners and like all of our mistakes and the things that go wrong every day like teach us so much. And so just flipping the switch on it, like, you know, looking for the good in all of that. So what did you learn? Like, this happened, but what did I learn? And then that's what makes you better in the end. And so, and that I feel like has to be your attitude through all this. So I do feel like there will be some gifts that come out of this for real estate. I know there are going to be ways that we're changing our business going forward. I wish all appointments could be virtual from now on. I love that. I'm a little bit more of an introvert, and so I kind of love that. But anyways, there are definitely things that will be changing up as we go forward and things that we're learning. And I feel like our habits can really, really improve through all this, because business has been so easy and great for a long time. It's given a lot of us, you know, like this false sense of security or our skills. We think we may be better than we are. And we've forgotten that we got to work for the business. And, you know, so as long as we can learn that right now and get those habits built up, when the market gets hot again, like, we'll all be so much better for it.
So great. Well, yeah, I think that there's some people that maybe we don't know it's on. So if you want a template, this template, if you'll just put it in the chat box, your email, that would be awesome. And then we'll, get that sent out to y'all. That's awesome. So good. Any other questions?
Nothing else? Okay. Well, thank y'all all for coming. I appreciate it so much. And y'all let me know if y'all have any questions over it. And also, y'all should put in the chat box if anybody wanted like an accountability group around doing the 411. Because if y'all did, that would be really easy for you guys to set up a Zoom call. It can be very quick and just go over like your action items on your 411 that week. But if this is something you really want to succeed at, you've got to find your tribe and your accountability partners to keep you on that, or you'll do it 1 week and it'll be so good and then you'll never do it again. So,
hey, Lindsey, one other thing. Okay, so other than looking at your 411, what's a daily habit that you have that has helped you gain clarity? So is there anything else that you're doing on the daily that you're like, man, I get my energy and source of clarity from doing these?
So I feel like when I lead generate like that, it gives me energy and clarity. That's really the only thing. I mean, I have a lot of other things I'm doing right now that, you know, those are just kind of things that I told everybody on my team this morning. I mean, even if you're working a solid like 2 to 3 hours on your lead gen, like, you should feel good. And I know, Terry, you've said this a million times in the past too, but that's your job right now. And so for me, if I'm doing my lead gen, whether it's, you know, some days are great and some days are not great. But as long as you're doing it, like, you should feel good about it. And this morning I was telling our team, I mean, it's like being on a diet and weight loss. So it's hard. We all want to see, you know, immediate results, and they just don't come. And it's the exact same thing with our lead generation. So, but as long as we're putting in the time and we're making the contacts every day and we're following up and we're doing those things, and as long as your skills are, I mean, even half of what they need to be, then the numbers will show up. And so I mean, because that makes me feel, and when I have been busy in the past, I have let my lead gen slip some. So I feel like that's one of those things, that opportunity that could come at the end of this is keeping up and building that pipeline even bigger and fatter than it would have been. And, then this whole thing may end up being some kind of blessing on the other side. Sorry about that. So is anybody else doing anything right now that really has been giving them extra clarity or confidence during this crazy time? No? Okay. Well, y'all hang in there. Give yourself some grace and really look at it as an opportunity to, I'm trying to get better about my workout routine stuff, because that's a struggle. So, but one thing, we all have more time than what we had 3 weeks ago. Our kids aren't playing the sport. It might be different, but most of us have more time. Just taking drive times out for us realtors gives us, hours back. So look at it as an opportunity to go out there and build some skills and do some things that we're normally too busy to do. And hopefully we'll come out of this thing with some stronger habits, healthier habits maybe. Okay, well, thank you all so much.
Thanks so much, Lindsey. You're awesome. Thank y'all for coming, tuning in.
Yeah, thank you, Lindsey.
Yes, thank y'all. And y'all stay healthy and have a great day. We'll send that 411 out later this afternoon.
Okay,
awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.